My check.
Mic check.
So this is West Wednesday 573. So first of all, I want to apologize for the late coming on. It was raining. A lot of foolishness was going on before we started, but we are here. So we're in front of Northeast District, which I haven't been here in a while. But the reason why I'm in front of Northeast District is only because tomorrow, unfortunately, is the commemoration of my brother for being murdered for 11 years. We've been fighting peacefully for accountability, and at least 15 of the officers belong here in Northeast District, right here that started everything. This is where Louise used to work at, Chapman, and all of their goons, and it's just sad. And so I wanted to come here, whether it was raining, snowing, or whatever. I wanted to come here, and it's just sad. And I'm trying to and I've been saying literally all this week, trying to get myself together to actually come and get ready for tomorrow because it's like year after year, and these years are going by so fast. And seeing the years go by fast, losing good friends, people, everything that's happening crazy in the world, it's just sad that we still don't have accountability. 573 weeks, no accountability. And it's sad and it's disgusting to me. So, and the reason why I put my face mask back on tonight is a lot of COVID going on where I work at, just everywhere. It's like one minute you'll feel comfortable, like, oh, we over that phase, but then you'll hear about it and lots of people getting sick again. But I want to pull it down because I want y'all to be able to hear me. But again, I'm real sad and disgusted, and that's why I elected to come here tonight as opposed to Greenmount, where we get a lot of viewers and people. But it was real important for me to come here, and this is where Worthless Warrior used to work at. This is where he came from. This is where he was actively working. My brother was brutally murdered, and I remember going to the town hall meeting before they put him in office, put him in chair, sorry, or made him commissioner. And he said he went to the scene where my brother was murdered, but yet he still did nothing. And to know that he went to the scene and to know that he knew the scene was horrible. Out of his own words, he was like, yeah, it was a horrible scene, and he did apologize. But to me, apology with no action is nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing but words. If you're going to apologize, you can make something happen. Nobody should still be working here. They should be spreading all over, working at different units. And what happens is when someone is brutally murdered, they don't get fired. They just move them around. They just move them around. They might be working at it, and they give them promotions. They give them promotions off the top. They get full immunity, while meanwhile, they turn around to me, and no one sees. And the part that really frustrates me is we're still losing people from police brutality. People are still getting brutalized, even the ones that survive. We always talk about the ones that are murdered, but they are survivors that have to live with the fact that they were brutalized and nothing happened. And the fact that in my brother's case, we're talking about the first one, Louise, that's married to Michelle battling the state prosecutor office. They won't even make her like that shouldn't happen. And this is why I can't get no type of accountability from out the prosecutor's office, out of Ivan State's office, is because the conflict is her. She is married to one of the killer cops. Let that sink in. It ain't got nothing to do with people came to West Wednesday. Just people come to West Wednesday, y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with none of it. People have been to free Keith Davis Jr. rallies that did stop Keith Davis Jr. from being free. Okay, so let's be crystal clear. So in this case, what's different is the fact that Louise is married to a state prosecutor in that office is hindering me and my family from getting accountability. And that's disgusting. And it just brings you back. And then I'm real sad too because today also is the 10-year commemoration of when Eric Gardner was choked out on video, murdered. And then they kept saying for selling the packs and selling loose ones. That is not why Eric Gardner was murdered. He was not out there that day. Now, I don't know days leading up to that, but on that day, when Eric Gardner was out there, he was out there, he just broke up a fight. He was out there being a hero. That's the only reason why those killer cops were called to that scene. They didn't call because, oh, this guy's out there selling leads on TV. They try to make us look real bad in the media. There's always black and brown folks that they want to make it seem like we're breaking the law, we're less than. And they put this narrative out there we could never ever change. And it's just sad. But they put that narrative out in the first video that I ever saw was when our God was saying, look, this is not going to happen today. I remember the witness that pulled out his camera first at that scene. He said, oh my goodness, because he didn't know what was going on around him. He just, like everything is just happening. And he literally out his mouth said, this don't make no sense. That guy just got finished breaking up a fight. That was the word. He didn't say that guy was selling a cigarette. He was standing on his corner laundering. He was breaking a law. He didn't say anything. He said, this guy just got finished breaking up a fight. And sure enough, as the media get these stories, they make it sick and make us look bad. That's all they do. But anytime white folks are killed, shot at, whatever, you get all types of positive publicity. And it's just sad. And I don't want to seem like I'm being desensitized because, like, of someone getting murdered, but it makes me sad that every case matters. It's not just white people. It's just not, it's every case matters. Every human being should get the same amount of respect. Just like the case, and my heart goes out to the mom that was jogging along and was brutally raped and murdered. Nobody deserves that. That was horrible. But the same way that they flew her family to a conference on a national level to talk about what they want to see happen with the laws and things that they want to see, nobody never flew my family out to go and serve to stand in solidarity with other murdered families or to speak out to national conferences or any level. Local conferences, never. We can't even get the type of respect to even just show it literally on the media without them twisting stuff. And it's just sad, that's my part, but I had to remind myself I can't get to a place where I let the television dictate if I'm going to act hurtful or hateful or whatever way towards another victim. And the way the media does things, it makes you feel some type of way. And I shouldn't. So I can come back and realize that these are still victims. But the same way y'all show those victim families respect, and the same way y'all show a nice picture of them when their loved one is murdered, y'all take the best one. Y'all don't show a mug shot. Y'all don't show something when somebody's inebriated or whatever the case may be. Y'all don't do that with us. Y'all take the worst picture
Right.
and put it out there. And that's the image for the whole world to see. You can have a student that just graduated from college, high school, whatever, tapping down pictures. They'll go over there and they'll find a mugshot or they'll find a picture where they were smoking weed or throwing up peace signs and being kids and acting silly. They'll find one of those pictures
Right.
for that image. That once you put that image and then they start spinning the town, it's all over. It's disgusting. But that's what, so again, I'm here tonight because I still feel some type of way, even though I always just call out mainly Louise and I always mention David Lewis and I occasionally say Kelly Chapman. But I want any and everybody that was involved in the murder of my brother. I
All
want
sort
the
of thing.
women that was involved. I want the men. I want the bystanders that had the capability to stop it. All you had to do was stop your fellow officer from beating the life out of my brother. You did absolutely nothing. You did absolutely nothing. And then, if it was even more, to make it even more worse, you covered up for them. You lied with them. You let them put a horrible, false narrative out after you saw what happened. Y'all couldn't even take the pepper spray or whatever chemicals that y'all was spraying in the air that none of y'all could hardly breathe on that thing. But they did that to my brother. They didn't think about what was going to affect him and his breathing. They didn't give a damn. But for y'all to see all that kind of stuff and for you not to say something, and we talking about going on a whole decade. Nobody has never stood up to say, you know what? And I even had people that was on certain groups, the independent review board. I even had a woman to come back and say, you know what? And she publicly made it. And I'm proud that she did it because she was like saying how violent she was, and she what she knew, and she gave them for she wish she would have knew all the stuff, and she made her decision real quick without knowing the facts. But that takes a woman or a man, a real woman or a real man, to step up and say, hey, I got it wrong. Let me make it right by giving a statement. And I'm quite sure she took backlash and everything. But to me, that's heroes in my eyes. That's heroes in my eyes. No, it's just disgusting of the things that we see that happen and we sit by and we don't say anything. We let it just roll on business as usual. And as you can see, 11 years is never going to be business as usual. That's why I'm out here. I'm not going away. And I give a big shout out to the West Coalition, who is more than just a coalition. They are my family. I give a shout out to my family. But after they got tired and they took time out, the West Coalition family comes out. I give a big shout out to Runners for Justice. They ran this weekend. And everybody that was a part of it. Even if you said you couldn't go out there. Even if you said a prayer, you're not in the plane, if you sent a positive thought, thank you. I'm real comfortable for that. Thank you so much for everything. I want to give a shout out to Uncle Bill who went for tomorrow and purchased the balloons for my brother's candlelight. Uh, Shout out to Hillary and the Hillabacks for providing candles. Everybody in the West Coalition doing something. People's going to bring water. Just everybody that's out here tonight. And it's sad, like I said, this stuff is still going on. And I told you it's something about the month of July in America. Because remember, this is when they celebrate the 4th of July, Independence Day. Let's be crystal clear, Independence Day. And a lot of people, if you're not affected by this stuff, it'll just be a typical holiday for you. Because before this happened to my family, me and my brother used to celebrate this typical holiday without doing the research and the history and the back. We were just living our lives normal. We were just living, and I ain't even gonna lie, back then I want to be cute. I want to have red, white, and blue. Not gonna lie, because I had no idea, no clue. And in my mind, I thought that this system would work for you if you need it. What a joke. That's right. What a goddamn joke. Like, what a joke. I'm in my mind when this happened 11 years when I kept reassuring my family who had no doubt, no faith in this, that they doubted this system. They had no belief in the system. And they was like, oh my God. I'm like, no. We had video footage. We have this. We have all these witnesses. Let them do their job. And what did they do? They screwed us over. To this day, we still have not obtained the full video of my brother being brutally executed. Because the very next day, Commissioner at the time, Commissioner Beck, he was out there with his goonies, reassuring that we were never going to see those videos again. And that's why I say to myself, how can they live doing stuff, live like that? Like, you actually go that far to cover up somebody's murder. Like, that is disgusting. How can you sleep at night? How can you know that you have a family? And unfortunately, they protected while they, and they ain't even really protected when they're in their uniform. Let's be honest. Let's think about Joe. I'm going to say Joe Crystal. He's a white guy. That's my friend. They put Brad on his car, but and he ran him out. But let's think about Officer Torkey, who was one of their own. One of their own, but one day he didn't have his uniform on, and he was doing all things security at a nightclub. And I heard he was a good cop. And literally somebody got in a fight or whatever, but one of his own brothers and sisters in blue came back. They didn't know who he was and blew his brains out. I had the nerve to lay the gun by his body. All in the video, you can't make this up. Did anybody get charged in that case? No. Think about Detective Suter, who was going to testify a day before. And everybody knows that was the biggest setup hit in the murder trial. Like, really? Anybody can really see that. Like, Stevie Wonder can see all the facts in that case. Like, let's be crystal clear. He ain't got no vids. He can see what's going on. Like lay the facts in front of Steve, he gonna be like, no, something ain't right. His person at work, his partner, they wasn't there that day. So this other partner, they take them and no. And then they put a ransom on a black person with a black and white jacket on with a stripe, over $250,000 immediately. But then they turn around after they try to get their stuff together. The foolishness comes in. Oh, now it went from a homicide to a suicide. Now he murdered himself, still on and on. Just coming back from seeing his son get married in good mindset, talking to his wife, laughing, joking, all this. And it's set and assassinated. And we know about the gun trace task force. And let's be clear, that wasn't Baltimore saying, hey, we got to get these dirty cops investigated. That was the feds. Let's be crystal clear. Had it not been for them putting a tracking device under there, the police had theirs, the dirty cops had theirs, and the feds had theirs. And that's how it got put out there. That would have never happened. They're still going on. But guess what? I still believe, and this ain't the West Court, this is the wrong Jones. I still believe that the gun trace task force is still operating. I don't believe that after you put those people away in jail when I'm for stealing money, not for taking a life, not for wronging, raping, wrecking havoc in the community, but when it comes down to that capitalist system, money, then they stole overtime. He was supposed to have been at work. He's at the beach. Like, get out of here. They worried about money. And I always say it's not about the income, it's about the outcome. But no one wants to look at the outcome. They don't care about the outcome. The outcome of a capitalist system is to control our minds, the way we think, keep us calm, make it seem like we get these political people in here, Biden or Trump, and they're going to change and make a difference for us. We got the same wings of an airplane. And which side of the airplane you gonna pick? Going the same damn way. Destruction to hell. But which side of the wings you gonna put? The right or the left? And it was so crystal clear to me and it irritated me so bad. Because me as being a Republican, you know, a Democrat, I said a Republican, damn Republican, Lord Jesus, a Democrat, I feel like a damn Republican, a Democrat, same thing, a Republican, a Democrat, or whatever, same damn thing. But me being a Democrat, and all my life was brought up, oh, the Democrats are for the poor people, the Republicans are for the rich. That's how I was brought up. That's where I heard when I was introduced to all that in my household. That's what I was taught. You want to be a Democrat. You always want to vote for the people that's going to make change and make our communities better. And I'm like, oh, that sounds good. So they like the Republicans, the rich going to get richer, the poor all is foolishness. But it revolves around a capitalist system that needs to be knocked down. That's just the whole bottom line. From all these years, studying, I'm talking about writing letters to the president at the time when my brother was murdered. Barack Obama wrote me a letter back saying that he was going to get the DOJ, and I got the proof. I can show y'all. I come with the secret. He said that he was going to get the DOJ to investigate my brother's case. That was like me. I felt like God walking down the yellow brick road with my ruby red slippers on. I'm going to get accountability. Yes, because the people on the local level was playing games with my thing. They didn't want to help get us to the DOJ. DOJ was everything. Once you get to the Department of Justice, we're going to get accountability. I got these ruby red slippers on. We're going to get accountability. Not knowing the whole time the damn power was inside me. The power is the people. We are the power. Those other folks are the jokes. And I'm not telling nobody not to vote because I'm going to still vote. It's sad, I'm still going to vote. Because I feel some type of way because when we talk about slavery, my people was killed. My ancestors couldn't vote. And we know about voters intimidation, and all that kind of stuff. We know about that. So I'm still going to vote. But who are we voting for? That's the kicker. And when I saw that, till I'm starting to be scrambling. But back to the debate that I saw with Biden, when they say Ty Biden, and Mr. Orange. So when I saw the debate between them two, and when Trump told him, he said, "Yeah, what did you say about black people?" And you called them super predators. He didn't even deny it. He didn't even deny it. He didn't even deny it. And I'm sitting up there like, wait, okay, Bob, what you gonna say about that? He sat up there and that slowed this whole program down. He got extra sleep. Extra sleep. I think that put him to sleep. That was like giving him NyQuil. Soon as he got thrown out underneath the bus by Trump, Trump said, "Yeah, you Trump along the lines like you're a racist piece of crap like myself, but I'm out with mine. You had yours, and you want the black vote.
Exactly. Exactly.
You want the black votes. So what about them being secret predators? You started all this when you was under administration of this, that, and the third. He took, man, he got sleep. He was like, stuttering and everything. He was bobbling like a bobblehead. And I'm like, damn, I gave this man my vote. But again, I will give anybody like goddamn vote so Donald Trump will get the office. I don't care. That's just me. Like, but it's sad when you had dumb and dumber. Who you gonna pick from?
Mhm.
Like, who you gonna pick from? But at the same time, because my ancestors could not vote, I'm gonna make sure I exercise my right. But it's still, again, it's a game, the magic show,
That's right. I get
the magic show. Somebody gonna say y'all. They get it up, they don't do nothing. I done had people literally that work with us on changing bills and gas laws and everything. They know how serious the pursuit of the West Coalition is about police time. As soon as they get in the office, they don't look back, don't hear about them. They ain't trying to say, well, damn, let Miss Jones and the West Coalition be, hold people accountable and let's put some of their people in place to try to back none of that. They don't even know us no more. They don't even know us. You barely get away. But you can change the time, Miss Jones, get out of here with the foolishness. But my whole point is, it's just sad. And I would not be out here at this place did not change my life forever. This place changed my life forever. And it's kind of bittersweet because I am glad that I know how corrupt this system is because I literally was blind. And I was living in a world, a whole different world, a whole different world. And I think that's the problem. Until something like this happens in your life and shake you up, we look crazy. We look like oh my God, conspiracy theorists. We look like we need mental health, like everything. But at the same time, these are our lives. Please listen to us. And forget just listening to us. Because listening is not doing nothing. That's ineffective. We need to be effective in this class. We need to shut stuff down and make them force their hand. That's why they don't like when we get together and turn stuff. I'm not telling nobody go out there and turn your community turn up. But it's saying that's all they care about. A building is more than what our lives are. And that's disgusting. We worth more when we're dead in the dirt than what we are walking around, living our life. And that's disgusting. We get out here, we spend most of our days just working like a slave, just to pay bills. And it's so sad. Like when I tell you this capitalist system, I have to talk about it because this is what got my brother killed. This is what got my brother killed. So if I'm gonna be real, that's why I had to cry on my kids, collect my thoughts. And again, this is not the West Coalition. This is Tawanda Jones speaking from my heart and what I went through and what I'm going through. And there's so much of games that they play with poor people. It's disgusting. Like literally, I had to lean on this lady, like lean on her to real time. So I get on a bill payment for BG&E. This one bill, they're like, "Oh, we'll set you up for a bill payment." Been on the same bill payment for 8, 9 months. So on top of me paying, so I know my set bill is almost $700 a month. Easy, bam, pay it every month on the 28th. If not, some days if I get my check, surprise y'all paying on the 22nd. But this time my check had landed on that Friday, which was 28th, but the bill said it's due on the 28th. I paid, I'm thinking I'm good. They sent me another bill this week. But when I got pissed off, because for one, I got a speed ticket. I don't need speed. I got a $75 speed ticket. Like what? People be going around and they be so damn mad. Like, you need to get off the road. Real. Like my daughter's gonna be like, "Run, mama drive. I'm gonna take the wheel. Titi ready to take the wheel." That's how slow I drive. It's real. Like I'm being honest. I don't. But yet I got a $75 ticket. But the thing with BG, and that's what I'm talking about, how the system brought poor people. So I call them, they give me a bill talking about my bill was almost 1700. I'm like, what the hell? I just paid 700. Y'all must say, get this. Oh no, you paid the bill late. I said, no, I paid wait no, Miss she lying, the devil lying. I paid that on the 28th. That's the day the bill is due. I said, right. So you're supposed to pay 2 days before. What? Are you kidding me? I'm like, Miss, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's different. When you're on a bill payment, you have to pay it 2 days before so we can process. I said, but you take the money out instantly. Make it make sense, Miss.
Right.
I'm over it. I'm over this system. And she told me that. And then when I went to work today, I was talking to a few people, my girlfriend, she's like, oh yeah, you have, I'm like, that's some nonsense. So if you want me to pay that bill on the 26th, put the 26th on there and I'll pay it. Don't put the 28th. Because I'm paying on that day. As long as I don't pay that. But no, she's like, no, so make sure you got, I'm over it. I'm over it. But this is the games that we get played. People I know when they go to try to rent an apartment, they got to pay double security deposit, 2 months rent, all this foolishness. And I have a white best friend, girlfriend, that holds it down for her man and walked in one day and ain't even get that same touch. I'm like, huh? Like it's crazy the stuff we go through. It's unreal. But again, my point is capitalist system that we all suffer from. I don't give a damn what color you are, what religion you come from. We can all agree that we all suffer from this capitalist system.
That's right.
That's why I said knock down and rebuild all over again. There's no other way.
Right.
In between, it's just like we're being frogs in a pot. We're slowly dying, but we're getting adjusted to the temperature as they turn it up for our demise. They don't just kill us all at once, they turn it up. Throwing all the stress, throwing all the food gathering, throwing all the poor food, just throw all that in, throwing all the community violence, bullying, all the foolishness. Throwing all in the kettle. We just sit there until we just go. And it's sad and disgusting. But again, we have the power. We need to do something with our power. And last but not least, before I pass the mic, because I can go on all night talking about the Kobe system, but I'm not. We had a guy that used to come to West Wednesday. I remember 3 months ago he was on Chico. He was on Greenmount. He just passed away. So my heart is going out. He passed away on I think it was June the 26th or June the 27th. And I just found out about it this week. So I'm waking up thinking about my brother. I'm living in a whole other world. Seeing people being traumatized, all this foolishness, BT, just everything. And I'm to be like, you know what? I'm doing this now. But guess what? I would never, ever throw in the towel. I'm stronger than that. You see, I know. And that's what I want everybody to know. That's my message tonight. It just seems like you at the end of the world. Everything to be tossed at you at one time. But all it takes is that one moment to just figure it out and it can turn around just like that. So don't just let one moment or bad memories. And I know it's easier said than done. Somebody can always easily say something until you go through something. It's a different thing. Because even in my personal space, I'm dealing with somebody like that. You don't believe nothing I say until it happens. And then as soon as it happens, like, oh, there, well, I ain't gonna cut. Done with those type of relationships. Done. Cut off at the end. Done. But my point is, just hold on. There's hope. There's people fighting. But when you get too weak, there will be other people that will fight for you. We're out here fighting. We take backlash, all type of stuff. I made a post that I shared that other people that shared, but then all these Trump supporters want to come at me. And I don't think one post where people like, oh my God, They didn't miss. Why did they miss? Yeah, one assignment, one. Oh, I didn't even share none of them horoscopes. I shared what I thought was funny, and I can share whatever I want to share on my page. If you don't like it, don't look at it. Or delete and block yourself, because I'm still having a block card. That was fun. That was like meditation to my soul. I should have been there. So if you come on my page saying anything, I'm not even going to give you no feedback. Just so that when you don't see me no more, you just block. I ain't even gonna give you no entertainment, none of that. No notice, none of that. It's easy to block somebody. It's real easy. Like I'm not even explaining myself no more. These are real times that we're in. It's serious. It's not getting no better, but we make it better by making memories every day. Because guess what? It's a day that we never seen before, a day that we will never ever see again. So make every day count. Don't let the bad outweigh the good. Even if you can think of one good thing, one good thing. Think of that and let that lead you out of that dark moment. Because it's easy to get in a dark moment and you are just done. I'm telling you. You're just done. Suicide is real. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your mental health. That's all I'm asking. If you need to step away, reset, take care of your mental health. Nothing is worth taking your life. I know it's easier said than done, but nothing's worth it. Because a lot, and it's so sad because a lot of people, they won't tell you how special you are. But as soon as you're gone, everybody gonna be hopping on your page. Oh, he or she was so special. I wish they knew how. So why the hell you ain't tell them how special they was? Like I'm sick of it. Like I'm over it. And I saw one of my friends' Facebook page. They were saying about kids and the community. We're saying a good point, but at the same time, I felt like they was like, why can't we handle the world like when everybody was in the outbreak about George with all the way the babies are dying? Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Never met police brutality with that foolishness. So this is a big ass difference. And I'm not to say that potty word. You know, I was trying to be nice. But it's a big ass difference between a killer cop and community violence. The difference is with these killer cops, we know what they did, we know who they are, and we never get accountability. And in some cases, you do only because it makes national news and everybody knows about it, and they tore some things up. They had to tear some things up because they weren't taking in that direction. They had to do something really good. That's the only way. So you can never compare the difference of wow, we saw a man's life being snatched, and until you have that issue, don't compare it. You don't want to compare that issue. You don't want to be on this side where you're looking at and people are frowning their face upon you and thinking you're the crazy ones. But we're dealing with craziness. We're dealing with craziness at its fullest. Like the stuff that they do, like literally, we leave it 3 weeks until this month. And we got so many names to read to y'all tonight. What is like 24? 27. 27. Stuff. I told you it's something really about the month of July, the Independence Month, the Independence Day. They show you how independent you are. So they can keep on murdering us and nothing happens. So on that note, this place needs to be knocked down, shut down,
That's right.
destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of all I'm telling y'all, we know that in every department there's dirt, but ain't nothing like this department. If you watch about the gun trace task force, they breathe from this house. This is the real house for the killers. It's almost like wild when you go to different haunted house. You might go to a little bull crap one over here, but then you got that one that's real scary that you like, no, I might not come out with my shoe on. That's this one. Real scary. To the point, and I'm like, man, I promise you, and I'm like, pass the opportunity, anybody want to say something, you can talk to me. But it was to the point after my brother's suitcase came out, nobody got nothing. But immediately when a suitcase come out, they'll set a family up to be killed, murdered, all the time. Because they'll put you right on. Oh well, the West family comes out for $1 million, but then they make you wait down there and get it. And then they want to throw my face up there with my West Wednesday sign, and I made them retract it, and I did my own press conference, and I signed off. But my whole point, As soon as they put my face out there, as soon as I was found out there, in the news, all on the newspapers, everything, that's when a silver car started stalking me. I literally go out my house the next day, and that's why I tell y'all stuff. That's why I showed y'all still don't know who this white man showing up at my house with this gray beard, poisoning my flowers, taking my doors and a car top off, my car, all type of food shit. I don't know who he is, but apparently he knows who I am and he feels comfortable. But oh well, that's a whole other story. But my point is, I literally got stalked by a silver car, and then a whole like month later. I'm on Belleville Road. This car almost killed me. Literally, almost ran into me. I had to jump back. Thank God. There was no cars coming on this side of the street. I jumped back, and the car missed me. And it made me so scared. Everybody know I'm breathing. I might be small in stature, but I'm breathing. I have a 4,000 pound person man child, whatever you want to call it, appetite, whatever. So at that moment, when I get nervous, I need to eat. So I was in the hair store and I peeked out, they had cupcakes. So I'm like, let me go back in the hair store, grab me some more diamonds and come back out here. Went back in for my Lord that said, like, you know what, any black hair store, you ain't worried about, I don't care what you got to go back for. You better go behind the line of women and wait your turn again. So I waited a good 10 minutes. Got my Lord that I'm out. I ain't even out the store yet eating them, like get my nerves down. I go back out the street, it's on the same damn car. I'm like, are you kidding me? But this time she crashed into my car, Mercedes Benz, the one that my brother had the day he got murdered. And I kept so dead because I felt like every time I was riding in my green Mercedes Benz, I felt my brother's spirit. That's why I was not materialistic. It was just spiritually connected to being with my brother in that car. Knowing that he didn't die in my car, but he had my vehicle. But long story short, when the accident happened on Bel Air Road, all the white shirts, not police cars, white shirts, and I put it on Facebook Live. White shirts showed up at the scene. My car got smashed. My car hit up like two other cars that nothing was wrong. My car was totally on the scene. I'm starting going to the white shirts. Excuse me, how that's my car right there. They giving me the hand. Everybody, giving me the hand. We're not talking. Hold up. Then let me take you back before that. Once the car crashed into my car, now I'm not. At first I'm like, I know this ain't that car coming back again. But then when I seen it crash, I'm in my mind now. The human side. I'm like, oh my God, I hope this person's okay. So now my human side kicks in. I run over there. It was like the scene out of the Exorcist. It's this white woman. She got her foot wrapped around, both of her legs wrapped around the steering wheel, her head down like the Exorcist, would not look at me, long, long, dark, dirty blonde hair. And I'm like, hey man, what you okay? Would not look at me. I'm like, damn, what's she had a seizure or something? She must be knocked out cold. Then it was somebody else there because they seen how bad that is. People are now getting out their cars. Seeing us, they get out their car. You okay? Now so nobody want to talk to me at that scene, which was interesting. But the interesting part, and I'm gonna make my point and I'm out. One of the white shirts that finally after 35 minutes of avoiding me, giving me the hand, told me, oh, that's your car. I said, yeah, so I was trying to tell you. Well, look, I said, I need her information. My car told I need her insurance. They told my insurance card, this my information. I need her. Guess what? Come down to Northeast Police District tonight at midnight. What? What you think I'm stupid? Like that didn't even sound right. That's one of those again, like what? That did not even sound right. Coming the place that I protest week after week, this was early into the protest. Week after week, calling these jokers on, come down there at midnight. So I didn't come that would happen on a Friday. I didn't come. I'm like, Sunday, I'm gonna go down there after I go to church, gotta pray on this thing. And I'm gonna go in there with my Facebook Live, went in there. When I seen up when the neighbors like, I don't know why they told you that all you gotta do is go online, it's $14 order report. And I'm like, what? So I ordered it. I'm like, that's weird. They sent me a whole nother report. My report was blank. I can show you guys. I come with receipts. I saved my blank report. And my blank report said car A hit car B hit car C hit car D. He had nothing else. No meat, no potatoes. So as I'm online post and the lady was riding with her, everybody coming in, oh, you blowing it up, she got car, so it ain't nothing for it. I'm like, what? Like, I'm talking about my phone, but damn about a car. I'm like, y'all know, I feel like somebody just was a car in the tank or whatever. Long story short, Uncle Bill, my man, comes up here, we can West Wednesday out here. He go inside there with me. That's why I said I got white privilege and a black body. I love my white privilege. Thank y'all for my white privilege. Yes, I'm telling my girlfriend about it today. I got white privilege and a black body went on with y'all. Only went on with y'all. But my point, Uncle Bill with his white privilege. Went in there. They straight, he had to go online, he had to pay $14. He came up, they went and made a choppy report saying how a lady took a Scooby snack, she was high for drugs, she started fighting the cops. She said, intimate detail. I'm like, what? Looking at mine, looking at him, he had like 3 pages. One simple page, 300. That's my point. The system is corrupt. You can't make this stuff up. I come with receipts. So on that note, I'm gonna ask you anybody want to say or share anything that we can move on. Mic check.
Mic check.
I'm gonna be all over the place because I want to like tag on to a lot of stuff that Tawanda said. I too was traumatized by Northeast District. My whole family actually. Everyone knows, like, they bogusly raided my house at the TTF activity. But at the time that happened, I actually had two blue ribbons on my mailbox because I don't know if y'all remember, but a guy from Baltimore drove up to New York and walked up and killed two cops. And I put since it was a white Baltimore man who did that, um, I put the ribbons on my mailbox because I still thought the police were about, like, being real and solving crimes and all that kind of stuff. And then, so that was on my mailbox when they raided my house. So that was one thing that she sparked in me. Yeah, this is like the deadliest district. A lot of people would think that would be over west, but it's not. It's here in Northeast District, like this nice area from the outside. It's I say it's like a checkerboard. Like you have like your different communities, just kind of spread out all nice on the checkerboard, and they just go through and pick and choose who they want to brutalize. Second thing I want to talk about is they want to talk about community murders, community violence. Well, all across this country, the numbers of community violence and murders are down. All across this country. But you know what has arisen is cases of police brutality resulting in death. That has gone up. It went from 1100, about 1100 a year, to almost 1700 a year. So yeah, it's all across the country. It's not just here. So that is something that people really need to keep in mind. And another thing I want to talk about is the RMC, certain things that happened there. Because yesterday, they have a theme every night. And the theme last night was "Make America Safe Once Again," or something like that. Well, America's never fucking been safe. America has never been safe, especially not for minorities, especially not for women. So they want to call him the quote unquote law and order president. And that's unless his minions are raiding the Capitol. Then they don't give a fuck about police. Then they don't give a fuck about law and order. And then they want to dismantle the DOJ, the hub of quote unquote law and order, because they want lawlessness for their benefit. So don't get this shit twisted. You need to look up Project 2025. You have to look it up. I know it's 900 pages, but there are a lot of people breaking that shit down into bite-sized pieces and really, really look into Project 2025, because they want to also dismantle the Department of Education, well, because uneducated masses are easier to control. And they fear nothing more than educated minorities and educated women and educated young people. They hate it because then you can't be manipulated. So that's just two of the things that are in Project 2025 that are really dangerous. Another thing that happened yesterday at the RNC was Rachel Morin, the young woman who was stalked and murdered and raped on the trail, the Ma Pa Trail up in Harford County. Her family was there.
Wow, that's family.
Yeah, they flew them out there, and because her brother decided to make a speech because she was unfortunately she was killed by an immigrant. But this dude was like a serial rapist. He was wanted in California. He was wanted in his home country, um, and all of that. So my point though is her brother was insinuating, and I'm not disrespecting her at all or her family, but her brother was insinuating like the rhetoric that Trump started in 2016 with was, oh, they're sending all their rapists and their murderers and blah, 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 all this crap. That's what he was alluding to. He was talking about immigration and the fact that, okay, so the truth of the matter in the United States is a woman is more likely to be murdered by someone she knows, a domestic partner or lover or family member. That is just the facts. If you juxtapose that against women who were killed by an immigrant that doesn't freaking know them, those numbers are minuscule compared to the number of women. A woman is more prone to die by the hands of someone that she's slept with. So don't get shit twisted. Don't believe all this bullshit rhetoric that these wannabe fascists are coming out with. And I mean, it's not a surprise to me that a family from Harford County would wind up at the Republican National Convention because it's kind of a racist county. I mean, let's just not cut any corners about it. That's just the truth. It's a racist county. I mean, she never felt safe going up to TC gym up there, and she used to get followed by trucks and shit. So, I mean, it's just a racist county. But my point is, you know, without immigrants, we would have no produce in our supermarkets. We wouldn't have our buildings clean, any of our venues, any of our colleges, any of our hotels. Without immigrants, this country would crumble. And I'd like to ask Mr. Morin, I guess that is his last name. I don't know what his last name is, but Rachel Morin's brother, I would like to ask where your people came from because y'all aren't native. You're not native, so your family was immigrants at one time too. Trump is married to an immigrant. His son is the product of chain migration. All his kids are product of chain migration. He's a product of chain migration. His dad was born here, but his grandfather came here. And what's hilarious about that, if you know nothing about the Trump family, is the country that they came from. He fled. The grandfather fled because he didn't want to participate in military duty, basically. Then he came here and he couldn't get on his feet right away. And he was trying to go back. And they were like, nah, we don't want y'all here. You're a deserter. We don't want you here. So he's only the second generation of people here since his immigrant. Like on my family, I can't even find the immigrant on my dad's side. Like that's how far back my dad's family goes. And my dad's family was mixed, like with a whole bunch of different stuff. But I have not found the immigrant. yet. I found them real quick on my white mama side. I found my boat people is what I call them. I found my boat people on my mom's side. So my thing though is we need to stop being so ignorant. And then they wanted to talk about like this bogus crap that happened on Saturday with Trump. And I'm not going to get into that, but um, you know, the Democrats are like, oh, we got to tamp down the rhetoric. Um, they actually stopped doing campaigning, and they pulled all their ads. Why? Did you hear anything that was coming out of the Republican National Convention? They didn't cut down the fucking rhetoric. They're still out there with their racist, freaking capitalist and misogynist bullshit. They're still out there. And he picked J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is more Trump than Trump. He doesn't want there to be any exclusions for rape or incest. He wants abortion to be illegal across the board, across the whole entire country, with no exceptions for rape or incest. And you're not supposed to be able to get divorced either. You're supposed to stay in an abusive relationship. Let's circle back to that. Like how women are more likely to be killed by their domestic partner than an immigrant. JD Vance wants to make sure that shit happens. They hate women so much. They hate women so much that they are willing to put corrupted judges on the courts to undo all of our rights. So you really need to think about that. Not about the personalities, but about their platforms. And that bonehead orange Cheeto, whatever the hell you want to freaking call him, is supposed to be quote unquote talking about his platform tonight because the Republicans really don't have a platform outside of Project 2025, which I will say, please look it up. That's all kinds of people outside of him, but are within his inner circle that devise that. But he's supposed to be talking about his platform tonight. And I guarantee his speech is going to be some unhinged shit because all of his speeches are unhinged shit because he doesn't have a platform. He has nothing he believes in except himself and enriching himself. That's it. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the last time I was on the mic, I had spoken about how these dudes from Bates's office were coming through my community. And they were handing out this report card, I'll call it, of like what Bates has done, whatever. So I actually looked at it after I spoke about it because I didn't even really look at it. I just tossed it aside. But on there, on the back page, there was some statistics about an uptick in arrests, especially of juveniles. And this is something that he's proud of. And this is also feeding into the rhetoric of some of our older citizens. And I really want to talk like to some of our older citizens is you have to stop demonizing our young people. The reason why the cops go after them is because of the stuff y'all bring to community meetings. I don't want them hanging out on the streets around all this kind of stuff, they're a nuisance or whatever. Like, what were you doing when you were that age? Give me a fucking break. Like, why do people forget about what it was like to be that age and how there ain't shit in this city for our youth to do? And then they want to complain about dirt bike riders and this kind of stuff. I don't know who else remembers, but I remember when they promised the dirt bike rider the track. They were going to build a track so that they could go there and learn the finer points of beat off the streets or whatever. What happened to that? That was like 4 mayors ago. What happened to that? You want the dirt bikes off the street? Build their freaking track like you promised them. No, they're steady confiscating them, chasing them, running them down, hitting them with their cars, like all this kind of freaking nonsense. But the older people of of Baltimore City need to get their minds right, get it together, because you know what? You need to stop demonizing these young people. These young people are a product of their environment, an environment that you let persist. You let this negative environment persist. You let our schools go down the tube. You voted for people like Hogan who were trying to freaking cut out the money for education. This is what y'all did. Because everybody knows out of all the demographics, old people get out there and vote. You need to watch who you're voting for just because they say some crap. And Bates is a freaking joke. Like, you want to tout that you're going after young people. What kind of services are you providing them? You want to make excuses like, oh, the department is using the services you have their stuff together. They're not providing them. Why aren't you pushing for it? Why aren't you in City Hall demanding, okay, you want to give all this money to police? Why don't you give money to the services for these youth people so that we don't have to keep locking them up? And then you want to talk about like how you can't do anything for Tawanda Jones because of the conflict of interest of Michelle Battle in your office. Like, make it make sense. And if you wanna like impress anybody outside of the old people in the community, start prosecuting these killer cops. You want to talk about how you're prosecuting our youth? Prosecute the ones who are killing them. They killed Donnell Rochester. They shot Mackay in the freaking back. We haven't heard shit about that case because he survived. What happened to Mackay? Gunning down people in broad freaking daylight. Hitting people, hitting people with their cars and beating people up and all kinds of stuff. Go after them. Put that on your next fucking report card. How you're going after dirty cops. I had a long discussion with a female cop who's been on the force for 20 years at the ballpark, because I work at the ballpark now. And I had this long discussion with her. And she was like, oh, yeah, they like don't let us do anything when it comes to dirty cops. She's like, our hands are free. She knew who Tawanda was. And she didn't even work. She hasn't worked in this district for years. But she knew, she said Tawanda's name to me. Because I told her that I fight for police brutality, and I said I was part of the West Coalition, and she said, "Oh yeah, Tawanda Jones." She knew who she was, so they'll spread the word through all of their police officers about Tawanda Jones and how she's out here going to community events and trying to get laws changed and all that, keeping their eye on her instead of keeping their eye on the dirt in their ranks. Instead of doing something about the scumbags in their ranks who are killing people. Because I have a whole spreadsheet where I track all the police brutality cases that actually make the news, because they all don't make the news. And a majority of those officers are still on the force. Make it make sense, Ivy Bates. Instead of going after the youth who doesn't have shit to do because y'all don't give them anything to do, anything constructive, why don't you go after these dirty cops, rogue and terrorizing our communities, and creating all of this strife and this PTSD in people or whatever? Yeah, the kids are gonna run. Kids are gonna run from cops. They don't trust y'all. That's exactly what this female officer told me. She's like, I'm getting sick of going into communities and being disrespected as soon as I step foot there. I said, well, do something about the dirt in your ranks. Because we don't know who we can trust when y'all step in there. We don't know whose side you're on. We don't know if you saw something and didn't say something. We don't know if you're part of the blue coat of silence. People in the community don't know that. They're gonna make an assumption about you because you got that uniform and that badge on, just like y'all make assumptions about people out in the street. So I had like all this built up because I haven't been at a West Wednesday for a little bit because I was working. So, but yeah, Project 2025, please. Like, if you can find where somebody broke that shit down, like they want to do some crazy shit. They literally want to bring us back to the 1700s. They want to bring us back to the 1700s. And I can guarantee you, if these Democrats keep fucking around and trying to get Biden off the ticket, which I like really don't give a shit, but if they keep fucking around and we wind up stuck with Trump again, we are going to have a civil war because there ain't no way the freaking women of this country and the oppressed of this country are going to fucking stand for that shit. Mic check.
Mike check.
And I want to say something real quick, and then I think I can feel I haven't even want to say something from, but real quick, the universe is like I think you have the whole right. So, but real quick, and I was just thinking, like, Pete Davis Jr. is on my mind. I'm so glad he's free. And this part of the system got it right. So that, I can definitely say, but, but it's crazy. It really ain't nothing to do with the damn system, you know? And I think about the teenagers, like the Brooklyn Home Massacre was horrible. But at the end of the day, they still have not found the murderers who murdered those two beautiful souls. But yet they're trying to charge teenagers that just had guns there.
Did you
And
hear
with,
what
oh,
happened in
yeah,
jail?
no, that's what I want to talk about. So I wanted to talk about the team that they got held there now. Mind you, they're not holding him on murder, but just holding him and trying to charge him with so much stuff connected to the Brooklyn. He literally got his eyes saved out. They're not giving him medical treatment or anything. And they're keeping him in there without a bail. Won't even release him, you know, to home monitor until they figure things out. They rather, and it takes me back to when Chief Davis Jr. was in there. And they didn't give him the adequate medical treatment. He had bullets lodged in his neck because it was personal with Marlon Moses. They elected to just treat him like a piece of trash. That's what's happening to somebody's son, a teenager. Even if they seem like a menace to you, but at the same time, they did not prove, and even with Sway, we're not judge, jury, or execution. Let's keep that in mind. But I'm praying for that brother that, you know, that this system will at least release him or home because they're going to kill him again. And that's disgusting. And all because he got a target on his back about being associated with it. It was probably many people that had guns. There was a bunch of teenagers, and they failed us. The police failed us. They just find they not even talking about these police officers got suspended or whatever happened. So they not get why. I want to know details. Why? What part did they do or did they? Like I want the details. So my check.
Mike check.
Real quick. 4 people have died at central booking like since the beginning of the year. 4 people have died while in custody, and all Bay's office has done is drop the charges that they have against them and not investigate.
Crazy.
And the 4 people were women. Very interesting. So I wanted to just bring up some things for because folks have been talking about things that are happening in Baltimore, some things to keep our eyes on. This information I'm getting is from local news media, so take it with a grain of salt or whatever. But one thing I'm seeing is that the air conditioning and stuff at central booking is not working. And so, and the people who are being held there are being cooked and it's hot. So that's something we all need to keep track of. The other thing is that today in one of the local publications, there's a report about, and I quote, Baltimore cop held a gun to restrain the man's temple, body cam shows. And having read that article, this is a case where on May 24th, okay, so month and a half, almost 2 months ago, um, the police came upon a guy who they thought fit a description, but in the article we're seeing that he didn't fit the description. And he was actually attending a vigil apparently for a friend who had died. And they got him and they got him on the ground, and the family just recently looked at the body cam footage. He was being held for a good long time, but the body cam footage, from what I'm seeing here, is looking like they held him with a gun to his head for at least a good chunk of time. And at one point, this young man was saying something to the effect of they're putting something in my pocket. So I'd like you to just sort of keep track of this case if you're listening tonight. We all need to keep track of it. The young man who was arrested was Jamon Joyner, and his family just watched the footage. He's 24 years old, and his attorneys are saying an overwhelming use of force in a situation that does not merit it at all. And a police spokeswoman said that the department began investigating the incident at the time it occurred and had referred it to the state's attorney's office for review. She said no officers have been suspended. So this is a case to keep track of. This is a young man who is thankfully still alive, but what trauma he must have been going through. And there's a video that's coming out too at this point. So they said the police recovered a loaded handgun from this young man's pocket, and they thought they found drugs, but again, we know where it came from. And so this is one that we need to keep looking at because it looks like we're having some of the same problems over and over and over again. So I just wanted to alert folks to both of those two things, and that's why we don't stop. That's why we keep. Sure. The young man, last name is Joyner. First name is, and he's 24 years old. Jamon Joyner.
Hi.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Hi, everyone. I'll be brief. First word about immigration. If someone's not living in Africa today, they're an immigrant. Because humanity originated in Africa, and about 100,000 years ago, some of us moved around the world, some voluntarily, and then more recently, some involuntarily. So virtually everyone here in the United States, including Native people who also immigrated here about 12,000 years ago, we're all immigrants. Secondly, the rate of crime among immigrants in the United States is much lower than the general rate of crime. It's good to keep that in mind when we hear these politicians speak. Secondly, the United States has a big problem that the workforce is aging, people like me, and there aren't that many younger workers to put in to the Social Security and Medicare system. And immigrants generally come here at a young age. They're very vital for the ongoing development of our economy and taking care of older citizens. So they're very important for that. And I blame both the Democrats and the Republicans for the attacks on immigrants. When Barack Obama was president, he deported more people than any previous president had ever done. And knowing that immigrants are actually an asset in this country, the reason for all these attacks on immigrants is simply to build racism. That's it. That's the reason. There's no other reason to get immigrants out of the country, whether they're here with paperwork or without paperwork. There's no reason to put them out except if you want to build a racist mentality. And racism is very profitable to this system. So those are the few words I wanted to say about that. And I want to remind everybody that tomorrow is a very important day. That is, it's the day when Tyrone's life was stolen by 17 killer cops. And there will be a memorial at the very block where it happened. It's Kitmore and Kelway Roads. And if you can come out and support the family, that would be great. Mic check.
Mic check.
Anybody else want to say anything when we get to the family? Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, just one other thing about, and I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but actually one of the vehicles, when charging through here, they bought these, I don't know if it's like a branch, some unit, but the Baltimore City Police apparently bought new police vehicles that they have painted black with black lettering, which sounds like undercover police to me, which apparently is happening in Baltimore. And I've seen like some really suspect behavior, like what I just saw tonight. So watch out for these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing something. They're trying to fucking create a situation where people won't know and they cannot identify themselves and pull some shit. So heads up, people. Keep a heads up. The why line.
Why lie?
Why? I don't know.
So I'm glad, Dan said something about that. Because it made the hell in the back of my back stand up when I think that, that black car just started by and I think, folks, like, damn, that folks driving on reckless.
Anyone know where Lot Y is, the Morgan? No. Sorry.
So, again, like Dan said, like, they're going back doing the same stuff that ultimately got my brother killed. Literally, when we pulled up, they were in an unmarked car. He didn't even know he was being targeted or anything. He didn't even know he was being followed for that second. And then once he realized when they put on the light, he like, oh, snap, he pulled over, put his hands on, without getting all that smoke. But again, it made the back of my hair, the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I'm like, damn, like straight jet black and with coach you can barely see. The word police that I look like gray and silver and everything. Real scary. Real scary. So please be careful, y'all.
Yeah, I saw some dudes get out of their vehicle the other day and they were like full body.
Please be careful. I feel like they all up to something. And I feel like, and especially, and I hate to sound like a conspiracy theory, but when you've been around and seen something I've seen within this last 11 years, you be thinking the same way too. If you literally got your brother's body in you, and you're buried him with a black shirt, and out comes this day in a yellow shirt, nobody wants to talk about it. Like all this stuff, like I'm not making this up. I come with receipts. But my whole point is please be careful. Please be careful. That's why we're out here. So we're gonna get into our list. If anybody else wanna say anything, add anything, give me one. Matter of fact, we can take 2 minutes of silence and then I'll read out thing and then we'll go straight into the list while I find the statement on my phone. So the time now is the time now is 8:41. So let's come back at let's do a couple minutes. Let's come back at 8:44. My brother was 44 years old when he was murdered. So 8:44 will remain light check.
Like check.
And keep all the names that you'll hear tonight and pray for this positive vibes only. Thank you, guys. So I'm gonna read our statement. We're gonna go straight into the list. It is our mission of the West Coalition to work for accountability for Taiwan West and all the victims of police brutality. We believe that there is a connection between police brutality and community violence. Police use de-escalation strategies to situations without necessarily support, and we encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. We care deeply about those families impacted by police violence and community violence. We seek to uplift their names of their loved ones from a place of respect and care. We do not obtain any information, additional information. We get these lists from the national and local outlets. And we know that these are not exhaustive lists. And we know that gun violence is the only way that someone is murdered. So we're gonna start off. Mic check.
Mic check.
This is the community violence list.
Thank you, Juan. So, as always, the names of people who've been killed in our community in the past week or so. Just to lift up those names and to support the families and friends and to remind ourselves of what we're about here. You get some of the names back. Dear Grant,
Dear Grant.
Derek Paul,
Derek.
Teron Waiting,
Teron waiting.
Cortez Lemon.
Cortez Lemon.
Thank you.
Next up, just something about the name Cortez Lemon. He was stabbed on a bus stop on Bel Air Road in Frankfurt, and he was only 14. Okay, this list is the national list of people who were murdered by police by gunfire. We don't know.
It's both.
Huh?
It's both.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, but one interesting thing that I noticed on this list is when we used to say unknown, this actually says name is withheld by police. So I want to make that distinction when I read this list. It goes from July 1st to July 10th, and there's 27 names.
Shame.
On July 1st, in Cherokee, North Carolina, a male was murdered by police, and the name has been withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Also on the 1st in Sacramento, California, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
On the 2nd of July in Spanaway, Washington, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Okay. There were 6 murders on the 2nd of July. Also on the 2nd of July, Abilene, Texas, 36-year-old Jeremy Bennett.
Jeremy Bennett.
Also on the 2nd, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 22-year-old Kayvon Reagan.
Kayvon Reagan.
Also on the 2nd, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 33-year-old Shakur Williams.
Shakur Williams.
Also on the 2nd, in Evansville, Indiana, 36-year-old Kyle Puckett.
Kyle Puckett.
Also on the 2nd, Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, 37-year-old Logan Cumberland.
Logan Cumberland.
On the 3rd, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 26-year-old Daniel Augustine.
Daniel Augustine.
There were 5 murders on the 4th of July.
Shame.
Dallas, Texas, a male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. In Hemet, California, on the 4th of July, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. In Mammoth, Wyoming, on the 4th of July, Samson Fussner, 28.
Samson Fussner.
Also on the 4th of July, New York, 20-year-old Pedro Felix.
Pedro Felix.
On the 4th of July, Riverton, Utah, name withheld by police, another male.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On the 5th of July in Fort Hall, Idaho, 20-year-old Mechalon Buckskin.
Mechalon Buckskin.
That indicates that it was a native person, that last name. On the 5th of July in Mandeville, Louisiana, 46-year-old David Vang.
David Vang.
Also on the 5th of July, West Jordan, Utah, 45-year-old Nicholas Kemp.
Nicholas Kemp.
On the 6th of July, San Diego, California, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On the 6th of July in Springfield, Illinois, a female, 36, Sonia Massey.
Sonia Massey.
On the 8th of July in Castle, Alaska, Kirk Medak.
Kirk Medak.
On the 8th of July in Easley, South Carolina, 26-year-old Nicholas Fernandez.
Nicholas Fernandez.
On the 9th of July, San Antonio, Texas, 52-year-old Juan Hernandez.
Juan Hernandez.
There's 5 on the 10th of July.
Shame.
Old Orchard Beach, Maine, 38-year-old Christopher Harriman.
Christopher Harriman.
Also on the 10th in Muskegon, Michigan, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. In Bedford, Texas on the 10th, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Also on the 10th in Chula Vista, California, another male, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
And lastly, on the 10th of July in Buffalo, New York, 25-year-old Davon Roberts.
Davon Roberts.
So as I wrap up, I just want to say that King, that you said, how it goes about Shanghai.
Chapman Ruiz, you can hide. Chapman.
Chapman and Louise.
You can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Chapman and Ruiz. You can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
We charge all of y'all with genocide. We know who you are, we know what you did. We charge all of y'all with genocide. And I'm looking forward to Marvel seeing everybody that's in my country. Thank you guys. Thank the West Coalition. First of all, for being out here tonight. Weather was filled with days because of the rain. I ain't gonna lie, this is actually salt and aesthetics. I almost ain't gonna put this on for us. Like, this feels like, oh my God, I feel so good on me now. But again, thank you guys. Sorry that we went over tonight. But hopefully we will see you guys tomorrow on Catmore Childway at 7 o'clock. And I promise I won't keep y'all there long. Because I really don't have the energy to be in a spot where my brother was murdered. So it's gonna be short and to the point. So remember, live to love to live. I love you all. Cell blocks and Kelly Top. We can't stop.
Stop.
We won't stop.
We won't stop.
So Kelly Top.
till killer cops are in cell blocks. We can't stop. We won't stop till killer cops are in cell blocks.